Palm Springs is a great home base to see some amazing places. Here they are. Hey guys, it's Peter. I've been going to Palm Springs now for 2 years, and these are my top 7 places that you just have to make time to see. They are amazing. All right, first up is the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. It was fun, and I did enjoy myself, but let me warn you, if you're afraid of heights like I am, it is scary. It is scary. My friend Jacqueline was really not that afraid. She actually enjoyed it. For her, it was like a roller coaster. For me, I was like, get me on the freaking ground. But as I was going along and looking at these mountains, they were so like rocky and jagged, and it just kept going up, and we were so high above the ground. There were 4 towers that the tram would pass over on its way to the top, and as soon as it would pass over one, the whole tram would sway, and my heart was like fibrillating. It felt like we were in the Swiss Alps. I mean, it's also cool as you start at a desert and you go up 8,500 feet. So you lose about 3.5 degrees for every 1,000 feet. So it gets 30 degrees colder. So by the time you're at the top, it's like a wintry forest. The tram takes you to the top of the San Jacinto Mountains, and these mountains are pretty amazing because although they only get to 10,000 feet, the tallest mountains in the continental US will get to 14,000 feet. These are 10,000 feet, but they start at basically sea level. So they look really, really tall. Once you're at the top of the mountains, you can have an amazing view all the way around you of barren desert and other mountain ranges nearby. It's just a pretty amazing view that I don't really know where else you can get in the United States. So, what do you do when you get to the top? Well, you can hang out at a restaurant, check out the views, maybe play around in the snow a little bit, and come right back down. It's pretty good for people who live in LA because a lot of them don't ever get a chance to see snow. So if you live in LA and you want to see snow, this is probably the easiest way to do it. I grew up in Michigan, so I've had a lifetime of snow by the age of 18, so I wasn't there for that. I was there to try to get to the top of Mount San Jacinto. So you see here that Jacqueline is putting on some micro spikes. They help you hike in icy, wintry conditions. We also decided to talk to the park ranger to learn a little bit more about how to get to the top. Round Valley. Continue on Round Valley.
So when you approach these 2 buildings, you want to stay to the left of them.
Well, we wanted to climb San Jacinto Peak. We wanted to go to the top, but the ranger specifically told us not to attempt it. Too much snow and not enough time, unfortunately. 7 hours is not enough.
So we're gonna have a snowball fight instead.
Know when your body feels so tired to get out of bed, you put your heart on a letter to chase it away. 'Cause
making it fast thanks to these puppies right here. Micro spikes. We got it. We couldn't hike all the way to the top of Mount San Jacinto, but there was a cool lookout point we were trying to get to. Our feet are now literally sinking in like a foot or so every step we take. So it's like, it takes a lot of energy, but we're gonna keep going.
We want to give up, but we're not going to. We can't, because we are almost there. Oh, whatever hallelujah song. Never give up. Come on, Pete. Let's go, Peter. The snow is like just for references. Like as you're walking up, we were just sinking into it.
Praying to God when I put my foot on the snow that it wouldn't sink. Because sometimes it doesn't, but when it does, you're like, ah, I have to lift it.
But then all that work and we got this.
Jacqueline helped me carry my water.
I did.
She lightened my load. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
When I'm sleeping with someone new, I can't help myself, I wanna get you. Still feel the way I feel when somebody calls you.
After we got back, I was supposed to return this permit to let the ranger station know we had returned, and I couldn't find it.
My permit. As long as you guys are back, that's all that matters. I mean, it'd be nice to have it, but if I see...
You mean you guys aren't going to get scared?
Oh, I'm not looking for you. No? That's what you're asking.
One other cool thing to see around Palm Springs are the windmills. So you'll see them just by nature of driving there from Los Angeles, but there's tons of them and they're huge. And you can take a tour of them or just maybe do what I did, which is drive up to them and get out of your car, walk around, and just get a sense of how big each one of them is. The windmills are actually pretty old for as far as windmills go. They started in 1982. The windmills are in the San Gorgonio Valley, which is one of the consistently windiest places in the United States. Next up is one of the coolest, lesser known places in California, Anza Borrego. All right, so this is the calcite mine trail. It's famous, I think, for its slot canyons, and actually there's some great mountains in the back that you can climb too and get some cool views of the whole park, and then the Salton Sea, which is over there. So I just hiked up this mountain and I have to go back to my car. Why? Did I hurt myself? No. Am I out of water? No. My lips are chapped. And it hurts. Oh my God. Next up is California's largest lake that no one's heard of, the Salton Sea. The story about this place is crazy, and it's important that we all learn about it. So the Salton Sea is in Southern California, and it is not even supposed to be there. So prior to it being the Salton Sea, it was the Salton Basin. It was a dry basin below sea level, kind of like Death Valley. And in the early 1900s, a bunch of farmers decided they wanted to take some water from the Colorado River and divert it down to Southern California so they could irrigate and farm. Well, when the Colorado River flooded one year, all the water poured over the irrigation system and just went to the lowest possible area, which was the Salton Basin. At first, people were very excited. They thought they had a new freshwater lake to enjoy. They built resorts and celebrities would go and play in the water. Ultimately, this sea had a lot of water coming in and no way to go out except for by evaporation. So it became saltier and saltier, and then all of the chemicals from the fertilizers from the farms, the agricultural waste, industrial waste, I mean, rivers all the way from Mexico pour into the Salton Sea. So it was just getting more and more concentrated with salt and chemicals. Lately, the water from the Colorado River has become very competitive, so there isn't enough extra water to fill up the Salton Sea to safe levels. The Salton Sea is gradually getting lower and lower and more highly concentrated every year. So I thought, okay, well, just let it totally evaporate and let it go back to what it was. Well, that is a problem now because there's so many toxins and chemicals in the water that if it dries up, it will become a dust bowl, and the wind will blow these toxic chemicals into the air and really decrease the life expectancy of the people who live around the Salton Sea. I included some links in the description of the video so you can learn more about this concern. Next up is a gorgeous place called Indian Canyon. If you've ever wanted to see a real life desert oasis, this is it. I mean, it is in the middle of a bunch of dry, rocky mountain landscape. Then all of a sudden there's a creek that comes through, and the creek provides a home for a lot of desert oasis wildlife and plants and trees. So it's really cool to just see the contrast of this jungly type landscape within this very rocky desert. Once you've taken a stroll through the beautiful oasis, you can hike upward into the desert mountains. And I love hiking in a desert because usually there's no bugs. You get unobstructed views all around you at all times. There's a lot of beautiful cacti to look at. It's just a lot of fun to hike through a desert. Just be careful to bring enough water and definitely wear sunblock when you have to. The next stop is one of the most famous deserts in the whole country, Joshua Tree National Park. This place is famous for a lovely stroll through the desert to see the beautiful Joshua trees, starry night skies, and you can even climb a mountain like we did here. We decided to go to alltrails.com and pick the highest ranked trail, which was to climb Ryan Mountain. I made a video on Joshua Tree, which you can find in the description below, but it's one of the coolest national parks, and it's not even far from Los Angeles. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe. Check out my next video by clicking on the bottom left to see the top 10 places to go hiking in Los Angeles. See you next time.